Hi, it's DC, and it's hard to believe, but this is my first voiceover for Time+Tide, so please, go easy on me in the comments. Today, we're talking about Seiko, and like a lot of people, Seiko was my gateway into serious watch collecting. I was hooked from the moment I found a vintage turtle diver from 1979, and I haven't looked back since. And this new Seiko builds on that heritage, while taking it to a new place altogether. So let's get started. Here's something I didn't see coming. An entry-level automatic GMT watch from Seiko, and it's packing some serious GMT master vibes. The three colorways remind me of the mod community from the SKX message boards back in the day, where modders would customize their Seiko divers with aftermarket two-tone bezel inserts. Well, Seiko's been paying attention, because the new Seiko 5 SKX Sports Style GMT is a great bit of fan service, and a budget-friendly way to add an automatic GMT to your collection. Like the time-only versions that have been released over the last couple years, known as the 5KX, the new GMT takes its inspiration from the classic SKX shape. Those smooth contours and lack of hard edges continue in the new series, and anyone who is a fan of the classic SKX will find plenty to like in the new models. The case dimensions are basically the same, at 42.5mm in diameter, with a lug-to-lug measurement of just 46mm, a great fit for a wide range of wrists. The case height is reasonable too, at 13.6mm, just 0.2mm thicker than the time-only version. One notable difference from the original SKX is the lack of a screw-down crown, limiting water resistance to 100 meters. As is, the water resistance is perfectly fine for most people's needs. The crown remains in its familiar spot at 4 o'clock, and the bezel keeps the grippy two-row texture, but there's something new going on with the new 24-hour inserts. They come in a Rolex-adjacent black and blue or black and gray. But instead of aluminum, the inserts are made from Hardlex, the material Seiko uses in their own crystals. About those colorways, you have three versions to choose from: black and gray, a Batman-esque blue version, and a bold orange. The blue and orange dials get a nice sunray treatment, while the black goes for a no-nonsense flat finish. Unlike the original printed markers on the SKX, the new watch features applied indices filled with that legendary Seiko LumiBrite. Lume also lights up the traditional Seiko dive-style hands, and notably, the orange version's hands are gold PVD as opposed to the silver of the other two. The GMT hands stand out with some bright color choices, red for the black and blue versions, and black set against the orange dial. One other thing to mention, the date window loses the day indicator found on most Seiko 5s, but adds a very Rolex-like cyclops. Love it or hate it, it does add a bit of retro appeal to the overall package. The movement is Seiko's 4R34, and should be as durable as any Seiko, given the company's reputation for some of the most robust mass-market movements available. It's got 24 joules, a beat rate of 21,600 vibrations per hour, and a 41-hour power reserve. Finishing is bare bones with a logo on the rotor, and that's about it. To be expected at this price point, but it's nice for those new to the hobby just to be able to see the movement in action. As far as travel functionality, the 4R34 isn't a true GMT, but what's known as a collar movement, which adjusts the 24-hour hand by pulling the crown out to the first position. The bracelet on the classic SKX models was a rattly, jangly, folded link number, which I always thought was part of the charm. However, the new Jubilee-style 5-link bracelet is a good deal more solid feeling, but the look is classic SKX. The Jubilee style gives you those Rolex Batgirl vibes at Seiko prices. With its take on classic GMT style, travel functionality, and great value, the new Seiko 5 SKX Sports Style GMT is as close to a sure thing as it gets. All three colorways are pretty tasty, but my preference is for the black and gray. Although I suspect the blue-on-blue Batman version is probably the runaway favorite. The wearability reminds me why we all loved the SKX, and the GMT movement makes it a perfect travel companion. For more information on pricing, be sure to check out the description below. And while you're there, make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest watch reviews and content, right here on the Time+Tide channel. Thanks for watching.